Hi everyone, my name is Justina Lee Brown. I'm a female Nigerian woman, African, and I'm here to talk about rebuilding our country, our nation, our home. And talking about rebuilding, what comes in mind is restructuring. What is restructure? Restructure is to rebuild. How do we start to rebuild? Is to let go. The first thing is to let go of everything that we have done wrong. Let go of all our mistakes, all our downfalls, all the things that have hurt us in the past, all the mistakes we all have done together. Be it the leaders who's made mistakes, be it an individual who's made mistakes, whatever we can think that we have done wrong, the first thing is to let it go in our heart and in our mind. Because letting go of things that hurts and things that seems to be mistakes is a sign of beginning, a new beginning, to restart. So restarting now, after letting go all the wrongs and all the mistakes and not looking back to what has happened in our country, is to rebuild now. Rebuilding, to start all over again. The first thing first again is respect. What is respect? Respect is respecting your country, respecting your nation, respecting your people, respecting your brother, respecting your sister, respecting your wife, your husband, your leaders, your workers, your friends, the little poor man in the streets. Respecting everybody from age to size to whatever they are, whoever we are. It doesn't matter. What matters is respecting each other. And what does respect brings? Respect brings unity. When you respect me, I respect you. We are united. And in unity, what do you find in unity? You find love. Because in unity, there's never hate. Love comes out of unity. And when there is love, you conquer everything. Everything is solved. Because love conquers it all. We all know that. You know that. I know that. But the problem is we are refusing to accept the fact that all we need is love. And where does love come from? Love comes from respect. Respecting one another. Respecting each other. In every little things or big things that we do. Respecting that person's opinion. Even if you don't have an understanding of it, but you respect it. That the fact that that's how he or she feels. And listening, respect also, listening comes out of respect. Because when you respect me, you listen to me. And communication comes out of respect as well. Because if you respect me, when I'm communicating to you, you pay attention. So that is one whole package, respect. Respect goes a long way. Respect solves everything. Every big thing that you can ever think as a situation. Respect can solve it. Respect can heal. Respect can bring all the pains, the hurts, everything down. So that's the first thing on rebuilding a nation. To respect the nation. And not selling out your brother, your sister due to one thing or the other. Trying to make yourself comfortable because you are no better than that brother in the streets, or the one sitting in the jailhouse, or the one carrying the holy big Bible, or the one carrying the Quran, or the one wearing the Gucci and the biggest designer you can ever name. You're no better. He's no better than you. We are all the same. Because if I open up your skin, if I look through your vein, what I see is blood. And blood has no color. It has no difference. It has just one red liquid pouring out of each of us. So that's what makes us one, and that's what makes us the same. So it doesn't matter if you're fat, if you're slim, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're weak, if you're strong, if you're sick, if you're healthy, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that we're human, and we are the same, and we are one. So that's all these things boils down into respect. Because when you have respect, all these things comes automatically. You don't have to think about it. It works automatically in your brain, in your body, and in everything that surrounds you. So that's one thing first. And respect opens up everything that we are going to try to restructure in our country, Nigeria. Because whenever I see my people, my fellow Nigerians, what I see that is missing, that is lacking, is respect. And that is what goes a long way to solving all our problems that we all have been crying about every time that, oh, this country is that, this country is that. I don't know why this government is doing that. Why? Because the government don't respect you and you don't respect your government. So nothing is going to work when there is no respect in between each other. So we're going to start, relax, take a deep breath. Let go all the pains, the hurts, like I said in the beginning, and build respect for one another to start a new beginning, to rebuild and to restructure our nation, our country together. So that's the first thing we have to do. Okay, let's move forward. When we respect each other, then our brain opens up. Then we start to think what we have to do right. So what we have to do right first thing is to think about your people. Our people, my brothers, my sisters. When I talk about my brothers, my sisters, I don't mean your relative, your family, because we are all family. It doesn't have to be your biological. We are all family as a Nigerian. So I have to start thinking of my fellow human being. That's the right word to use. So thinking of my fellow human being is trying to make them comfortable, be okay, be happy, feel good, and have a better situation of life. Because we all know life is so difficult. Life is very difficult that we don't understand why it is difficult, but that's the way we happen to meet life. So try not to make life more difficult for us is what we're all talking about here. So we've respected each other. So the first thing Nigeria needs to do is the system of education. We need to educate our people. We need to educate our people. Education goes a long, long way. Education goes a long way. We need to educate our people. The world is educated. So without education, we cannot grow in the way that we want to grow. We cannot achieve the things that we want to achieve. So we need to start educating our people. When I talk about education, I don't mean those public kind of schools, because those public schools in Nigeria teaches our children nothing. Nothing. They don't teach our children anything, because our children are just going to school and coming out of school with nothing in their brain. Just as a paper that says, I went to school. We have to stop this. This is one big problem Nigerians have, lack of education. The rich doesn't have to be the only person to have the right education. Education, every human being deserves education, deserve to be educated. Be educated, it means your government, you have to provide standard education levels for our children, our people. And it's not only children that needs to be educated right now in Nigeria, but that's the foundation. We have to make the foundation very strong and solid, because if you're restructuring a building without the foundation being strong, even if you make the highest thing that you want to make in a building, the biggest design, the most beautiful design or whatever, it falls down with one wind, one blow on it, it's all gone. So, but with a strong foundation, the foundation holds it solid. Even when the top is shaken, the foundation is solid, is standing behind, holding it. So that is what education will do to a nation. So the education is making our nation, our foundation strong. and that is our children. We need to educate them, because if they don't have the right and the proper education, and they grow up with this mentality that this generation is having, it's going to go on to the next generation, to the next, and to the, it will be an unending story. So we need to really pay attention to education in our country, in our nation, Nigeria. So that is the other point, the second point. And education doesn't mean we are just going to educate our young ones. The adults needs to be educated as well, because many of our grown-ups going around have lack of education in them, because if they're educated, they won't be making these mistakes that they're making. Most especially our leaders. 95% of our leaders are uneducated. That's why they would have the mind to sit back there and rule the nation in the wrong direction. Because if they're educated, education comes with wisdom and understanding. So you would not see your people crawling into a big hole and you let them fall into it. So it's lack of education and understanding. So our adults needs to be educated as well. So investing on our people, on our wisdom, and on our abilities and our educations is so important for a nation. So that's the step 2. The step 1 is to respect one another. The step 2 is to educate one another, to educate each other, and to educate our nation, and make sure that our children has a proper good foundation of education. And that's number 2. Then we're going into number 3. Number 3 is security. Security. Some people will say, why don't you put security as number 1? Yes, I know you'll be thinking security should come as number 1, because it's so important. It's so important that we need to have security in a nation. A nation with no security is a dead nation, because any breeze, any wind that blows into that nation, it collapses. It collapses. So we need security. The reason why I didn't put security as the first thing is because respect. Respect has it all. Respect has everything in it. In respect there is security. In respect there is understanding. In respect there is education. In respect, so that's why I put it as number 1, because it covers everything. Because when you respect your people, they would have security in them. They know my brother respects me. He's not going to hurt me. He's going to treat me fairly, equally. So he wouldn't have any reason to be afraid of getting hurt by you. So that's where comes security. Security is not about having military all over the places, police all over the places, and having heavy men with weapons everywhere. That's not what we talk about. It's part of it. If you want to call that as security, you can. But security is securing that your people are well doing. Your people are okay. Your people are good, are comfortable in wherever they are, be it in the ghetto, be it in the rich places, in the poor places, in the middle class, in any level of human race or human living. There is security. It is needed for the people. So it's a big thing for us to have security. That is the number 3 point in rebuilding a country, because there is no security in our country. We have no security there. Only the rich has security, and the middle class. Some of the middle class has security because they pay for it. We don't have to pay for security. We should earn it. It's something that we need to have. We need it. We earn it. We deserve it. It's our rights. It's not something you have to work and pay for it. It's our rights. And being it our right is we all working together towards it. Not one set of people working for it and the other just relaxing and thinking, oh, it's my right. Okay, now, I don't need to work for it because it's my right. No, all those things has to stop. We know it's your right, but you got to work together to make that right go round to everybody. So security is very important. Then comes to point 4. Health. Our health is so important, because unhealthy child is unhealthy human being, like I don't know the right word to say. Maybe that's not the right phrase for it. And a country that is not healthy, it's gonna die. It's like planting a flower. When you're not wetting the flower, you're not giving the flower water to stay strong, the flower is gonna weed off. It's gonna die. So if you give water to the flower is gonna blossom. It's gonna open up. You're gonna see all the beautiful colors that the flower is giving, that the nature has blessed the flower with. So with healthiness, we gotta be strong. We gotta be healthy. Our children have to be healthy. God has blessed us already. We Nigerians, we're really strong human beings. I have to laugh on that one because they say they think they keep black man. Because we are born strong. All the struggles, all the hustle from being a child, like not having better medication and all that, a good environment, everything looking so nasty around where you're growing up. It depends where you grew up though. But in the ghetto, I'm telling you, because I grew up in the ghetto, Ajigule. So I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, health is very important. And it's also our right as a nation, as a country, as a citizen of Nigeria. You have the right to have free health. This is something that our government shouldn't deprive us from, because a healthy nation is a happy nation and is a strong nation. So health is so important. These are the top 4 things on the list, because this top 4, it protects the country so strong that you cannot imagine how it protects this country. How this 4 thing can build our country before the other things comes, before the other things that we're gonna deal with. But these 4 important things is so important and so necessary for a nation, for a country, for a human being to be strong. Some people says, like some religion says, oh, health is come from God. Yes, it comes from God. But if God has given a fellow human being abilities to create medications, to invent things, and we fall weak and sick sometimes, so we need to be healthy. I hope I'm making sense, because I'm a young woman with these are all the things in my head, and these are all the things on my feeling. And I've been thinking all the time, how do I change my nation? Okay, I have a foundation, JLB Care Foundation, to help children off the streets, because this is the foundation. Because if the children are on the streets, what's going to happen to the future? So that's what I've been doing in the last 15 years, trying to help kids off the street. But I need to do more. That's why I'm talking about rebuilding our country. So this is for me and you now. It doesn't have to come from one hand. I know many people out there are doing what they can do to build this nation. But we need to start paying attention to the things that are necessary, the things that we need, and all the things that we want. Because everybody is running for all the things they want. Nigerian want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. What do we need as a nation? That is the most important thing. Not what you want. Nobody cares about what you want. You are the only one who cares about what you want. But what do we need? That's what we're talking about. That's what we need to start talking about. Because that's what has messed up our country. Because everybody just wants this, wants that, want this, want that, wants this, want that. That's what have messed up African as a nation, as a continent. So we need to start looking at what we need, not what we want anymore. The Europeans, the Americans, they know what they need. They work towards what they need. So the individuals work on what they want and some of their needs as well. But as a country, as a nation, as a continent, they fight hard, so hard about what they need as a country for the people, for their people. So it's right time that we start thinking like that. So health is one of the things we need. Education is one of the things we need. Security, we need it. Respect, we need respect in between each other. When these four things are very strong in a nation, every other things applies. We cannot be perfect. Human beings are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But we can try to be good. I hope I'm not cutting across as aggressive or screaming or shouting, but I'm being emotional here because this has been going on for so long, for so long. Only God knows how long this has been going on. And it's so sad that we're going to let it go to the next generation. So it's time that we try to restructure and to rebuild our nation. After creating these four important things, then we need to start talking about the minimum wage. Creating jobs for our people. Our people need jobs, need to survive. When there is security, it makes everybody relax to know what they are doing. When there is good health, it makes them strong and agile to work. When there is education, they are smart. They can recreate. They can know what the nation have. You educate them about the nation, about what they have in their own land. Not a foreigner coming to tell us what we have in our land and taking it away from us. Your people, your children need to know what God has blessed their land with. So that's part of the education. And we need to start building our nation in the sense that we start to reproduce, to produce in our nation, so our people can have jobs. I'm not saying it's not good for the foreign people. Yeah, every nation needs foreigners. Every country needs foreigners because that's how we grow. We learn from each other. We build each other up. But we don't need the foreigners to come to steal from us anymore. They can come to build with us, but not steal from us. And this is the fault of our leaders because you gave them that hand to do that. So, if a foreign company is coming here, the first thing first is your people is so important that whatever they're coming to establish or whatever they're coming to do, your people comes as number one. Because if you go to their own country or their nation, that is what it is. You can never be number one in their own place. So in your own place, you should be number one to them. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm not just saying things out of my own small, tiny brain. I hope it makes sense to someone out there. They have to be good minimum wage. Provisions for people to work. You cannot have graduates studied for many years with no job. It's not good to have homeless children. If there is a good structure in a nation, there will be a good minimum wage and a good platform for people to have jobs. We're not going to have people in the streets. We're not going to have children in the streets with no home. Even if we're going to have people in the street, then we know it's these people that put themselves in the street. Because you as a nation, you have done what you should do for them. So please, my people, my fellow Nigerians, this is my own understanding. If I have more ideas, I'm going to share it with you. This is a movement that I'm starting now, and I hope we all are going to work together to make our nation great. Because it breaks my heart every day to see all the things that's happening to my fellow brothers and sisters out there. And I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. I don't want this to go on. So I have to speak out. I have to speak up. Fighting is not going to solve it. Killing is not going to solve it. It's restructuring that's going to solve it. Standing together. Respecting one another. Listening to one another. Not overshadowing your brother. Not thinking that you are the one that needs to speak. Even if you are in the top position. Doesn't make you more intelligent or more smarter than the guy who is the cleaner in that same position. So we need to start listening to one another, paying attention to each other, so we can know what we all need, what is our heart desires, what we are crying out for. And I think these 4 important things and all the things that I've mentioned in this recording speaks out a lot of things that are in the minds of fellow Nigerians, the educated ones, the non-educated ones, the poor, the rich, the weak, the sick. This is my voice for you. I'm speaking for you. So please, let's stand together and build our country, Nigeria. God bless you. I'm Justina Lee Brown, your humble sister from Nigeria. I wish you all the best, and I know we're going to make it. Yes, we're going to make it. Just keep believing and having that faith that you've been having. And everything will be okay. God bless you.